So in Kit, you can control the flow of your subscribers and what content they get using actions, events, and conditions inside visual automations. So let's dive in and look at how we do that. So I'm going to first of all click on Automate, Visual Automations, then click New Automation. So I'm starting from scratch. There's a bunch of templates in here, but I'm going to start from scratch. And let's say that the starting point is when someone joins a form. So that could be, let's say, when they sign up to a newsletter, as an example here. So this is what's going to trigger the automation. So if someone has joined via that form, they will join this automation automatically. Then this little plus button at the bottom, we can add the next thing to happen. So all automations flow from top to bottom, and the control of that flow can be determined using the features I'm just about to show you. So I'll click the plus button, and now it pops up to see these three that I'm talking about: events, actions, and conditions. And by using a combination of these, you can get quite complex and quite powerful the way you can maneuver people through your automations. So let's start with the default one. When you click the plus button, is the action, because that's the most commonly used feature of the automations. The action is essentially when you're going to add the subscriber to something, normally like an email sequence, a tag, a delay. So you're going to keep them there for a period of time. You could change the value of a custom field, or you could move the subscriber from this automation into another automation if you choose to do so. So that's actions. There's a little one there that's greyed out. It says unsubscribe. If you hover over that, it tells you that you can only use that one at the end of an event or a condition branch. So that one would appear if it's allowed to be used at that point in the automation. Events. If we look at events are essentially, think of an event as if this thing happens or when this thing happens, bring all the subscribers that are in the automation down to this bit of the automation. So I could say when a date occurs. So I could say, let's say Christmas, or let's say the 1st of January. 1st of January at 12 a.m. I could add an event in there. So it means that anybody who joins there would come into the automation and they would stay there until that date occurred. If that date has not yet occurred, they will not reach that point in the automation. I'll just delete that. Go back in again. So events. So the other thing you can do is add a tag. If a tag gets added, then move them down to this part of the automation, or indeed if a tag is removed, or if they purchase a product, or again if a custom field value changes. Okay. And then the third one is conditions. So we can put in conditional logic and start to split off different pathways for subscribers to flow down based on certain attributes of their profile, or certain things that they've either done, they've clicked on, or they've expressed an interest in. So let's look at a simple example. A condition in here could be check to see if they've opened an email. So I could say, have they opened an email in the last 30 days, in the last month? And that'll be a yes, no answer. If they have, you can see just here there's a yes branch and a no branch. So if they have opened an email, I could put them down here and send them like a sequence. And if they haven't opened an email, I could maybe send them down there and send them a different sequence. Maybe it's a re-engagement sequence. Okay, so if they haven't opened an email, they would go down to the re-engagement sequence, and if they have, they would go down to like the general sequence. Other conditions you can have are tags. So if a tag gets added, if they have a particular tag in their profile, then we can create a yes/no path. We can also create what's known as a split path. Split path just means that there are more than two options. There's more than just yes or no. So if I click split path, I could say interested in LinkedIn, interested in Facebook. I don't think I've got another interested one in here. Let's say that one. So essentially what you see here is a number of options to that we can check against the subscriber's profile. If they're interested in LinkedIn, they'll come down here, go along there, and down into this path. So we could have in there a sequence that's related to LinkedIn, let's say, LinkedIn learning. If they come down here and it was Facebook, then we could send them a different sequence again. We could say we'll send them the Facebook learning sequence, etc. So you get the gist. You can easily control the flow for each subscriber based on what their preferences are, what they've clicked on, what they've expressed an interest in. And when you start to build your automations up using all three of these events, actions, and conditions, you can see how powerful and potentially complex the automations can be inside your email marketing system. So you don't necessarily need to keep it very simple, like an entry point and a sequence. That's a good place to start, of course, but as time progresses, you'll start to get more comfortable and you can start to think about introducing the other features in the automation.